Chris here from MuscularDevelopment.com, wrapping up day one at the Tampa Pro. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Here with Big Mike Cox, local man from Tampa. Always appreciate him coming out. I can't do this on my own, guys. I can, but it sucks. It's so much better with somebody like Mike or Giles. So, first of all, thank you for coming down.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it every year, man. This is like my highlight of my year. Other than Ohio State beating Michigan's ass every year, this is the best part of my year.
Well, we had several divisions today. We actually had, if we don't count the Masters, we had 5 divisions going today, and we just wrapped up finals and awards for all that. So let's start with women's bodybuilding. As expected, it came down to two women in the top 2. Very, very different looks. We had Janine Lenkowski, definitely a larger, more of a, I don't want to say bulky, but definitely had a lot more mass and thickness to her. And LaDawn McDay, more of a streamlined look. 2 very, very different physiques, totally apples and oranges case here, and the judges had to decide which one they were going to reward. Condition, I think, helped LaDawn. She was definitely a little better conditioned, and she ultimately pulled off the win. Is that the way you saw it from the jump?
LaDawn has got such a beautiful physique, and when she's in shape, it's going to look glorious. She's getting so close to getting that shape. It was just a condition, you know. We were closed down here until, I want to say, around May. And Janine, I know, was doing home workouts. Yeah. So she had a kind of a rush prep, you know, getting ready for the show. Still won the Best Poser Award. Phenomenal poser. I know she does posing routines here locally for the Tampa competitors. But the way she presented her physique was phenomenal. LaDawn was exceptional. I'm hoping, though, that she tightens up for the Olympia and gets that, you know, that Olympian hardness that Shanique has, all those girls have. Because when she brings that together with her shape, it's going to look spectacular.
And just as a side note, I'm sure a lot of competitors in this show did not have the ideal training situations leading up to this for the past few months. A lot of them probably were training at home or in some friend's garage or something. And, you know, I take my hat off to these people because prep is hard enough, but with all these, I can't even imagine with all these additional obstacles in the way. So let's move on to men's physique. 40 men. No surprise, Andre Ferguson, runner-up at the last Olympia, to Raymond Edmonds, 3-time Arnold Classic champ in a row. I still haven't talked to him. Not sure why he decided to grace us with his presence for this show, but we're glad he did. He's one of the greatest men's physique competitors in the sport today, obviously. And he came off and pulled a win against runner-up guy was actually very good too. It was a guy named Anthony Gills, but Andre all day.
It was when I looked on the competitors list and saw his name. First I thought, why? But then I thought, he's going to win the show. And it held the form. You know, he was in condition. He's always in condition. He would have to look totally off to lose his show. The second place guy was phenomenal, too. Those physique guys, man, like, their upper bodies are big. And special shout out to the 4th place guy. I don't know what his name is. He had, like, Paul Dillette size width, man. His waist was Brian Buchanan-ish. He just looked absolutely fantastic. It was freakish looking at him. He had that bodybuilder freakishly wide look. And so I was pulling for that guy, man. Like, he looked good.
That was probably the greatest shoulder to waist ratio I've seen in a very long time. Now I feel like an idiot, but he was 3rd place, wasn't he? 4th place. Look it up, guys, whoever it was. Because we do have the contest pictures being posted, so you can look up the results and all that. So let's move on to women's physique. No surprise, Ivy Rain stood out from the very beginning in the judging. Originally from Brazil, I believe, which is always a good thing. Very genetically gifted nation, it seems. But she had a total package. It's funny, I was actually talking to Iris Kyle in an interview that will be posted eventually, and we're trying to figure out the difference between women's bodybuilding and women's physique. It's not much of a difference, really. I think Ivy Rain would have done very well I think she could have won the bodybuilding.
She would have won bodybuilding. She was the most conditioned female on the show. She was big. Like, her back was thick, her glutes were in. When she did that side chest, the ham drop and the feathering on the side with the glutes, like, I was jealous of her. I wanted my glutes to look like that one day, man. But she was phenomenal. Like, she was the clear winner. It's a fine line between, you know, women's physique and female bodybuilding. And also, I realize figure girls, too, are starting to creep up to that women's physique. So I know a few years ago they had that 30% rule.
30% softer.
I'm not sure how that's going to work, but, you know, Ivy was phenomenal, man. When she came out on stage, you knew that she was a winner.
Because I don't think she's ever really been in a conversation as far as Olympia favorites for the past few years. I've always seen her at shows, and I thought, she has a lot of potential, but I'm not really seeing her being anybody pushing for like top 5 of the Olympia. I definitely see it now.
Oh yeah, she's definitely top 5 potential. That's gonna be a good class, man. That's gonna be a very good show coming up. That women's physique. Obviously, Shanique is just Shanique, but there's a lot of other girls though that can make it interesting to where she's gonna have rivals now. To where every year we're gonna look, say, hey, can so and so catch Shanique? Nobody's invincible. Ronnie proved that, but those girls are phenomenal, man. Like Ivy's gonna do very well.
So, we just lost our light. Hang on, I don't know if it's coming back. Is the camera still on? Okay, well, as long as you don't really need to see us. Second place, Jeannie Feldman, very well balanced physique. Third place, Sherry Priami, who also won the over 40. It's pretty rare that the Masters do that well in the Open, but she pulled it off. Great look. Fourth place, Christina Bittner. There's our light again. I know her as Weights and Cakes on Instagram. I've seen her at a couple shows, and again, that's someone else I always said, maybe if she was a little tighter, a little this or that. I like seeing people step up that I've been watching for a while, and they finally do what I was hoping they would do.
Exactly.
And Trish Wood was fifth. Who stood out to you?
You know what, Trish Wood, man, she was short, very petite, but she was so put together. She looked bigger on stage. Like, she can't be more than like 5 foot tall. But she was so conditioned. She was phenomenal. Sherry was really good. I thought Sherry might have been second. Could have gone either way. But, yeah, Trish was one of my favorites, man. Like, she was just a little like dynamite, packet of dynamite.
Hector, you want to keep rolling? Okay, we're still going, guys. This is real life. This is how we go. So we've done women's bodybuilding class, class of physique. Going into the show, I looked at the roster, the names, and I saw Divine Wilson on there, who's been second a few times to men like Steve Loris, George Peterson. So I assumed, because I wasn't familiar with a lot of these other names, he was going to be the clear winner. And he looked damn good, Divine Wilson, damn good. And I still thought he could have won. It was very, very close between him and DeAndre Campbell, another guy I really have never paid attention to until today. Obviously, I know who he is now, and I'm going to be paying attention to him now. Two-man battle for that. How did you see it? How do you think DeAndre pulled off the win?
Listen, nothing against DeAndre, but Divine, to me, was the clear winner. DeAndre had really big legs. They didn't, when he posed, stuff happened. When he transitioned, he kind of, not smoothed out, but nothing really stayed popping. But when he posed, it did. But Divine was peeled, man. His posing routine displayed his condition so well. His glutes were ripped, that old crazy like George Peterson conditioning legs. I was shocked when he was second.
Real round, full muscle bellies. You know, to me, that's a little more of a classic look when you see the roundness. So, Divine, if you hear this, keep your head up, guy, because I know second place at all these shows must be a bitter pill to swallow, but you're really good, guy. Just please keep going, keep going. Your time is going to come. 212, definitely. Even though I haven't seen the Open or anything more, I believe this is probably the best show, best class of this show, most competitive. We had some really good competitors today. Obviously, George the Bull Peterson was the big news because he had stepped up from classic physique where he'd taken third place at the Olympia 3 years in a row. He won the Arnold Classic. How did you like him as a 212?
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He filled out perfectly. He has a freaky look to him. The 212 is his class. He doesn't have to suck down to 192 anymore. He can, like his coach was saying, that he wasn't sure not what to do, but he had to suck him down. But he hit it perfectly. He maybe wasn't as crisp as before, obviously, but he's got a lot of stuff going on, man. He's very lumpy. And when he gets next to those other guys at the 212, he's got 5 months to make some improvement and get the timing down. This is the 212. This is the best class in the entire sport by far.
Justin was just saying, and George was saying in the interview, this is the first time they've tried to basically peak him at this with all this extra size. So, it's I don't think anybody always gets it right the first time. It was like peaking a different bodybuilder, basically.
Yep.
So I'm quite sure they'll figure it out. With those two. Second place, Bo Lewis was probably, in addition to George, he was the talk of the show. So well improved from the last few times I've seen him. He's still relatively new. He's only been competing as a pro. I think he's only done like 4 pro shows. Just turned pro a couple years ago at the age of 40. He's 42 now, and you would never know it to look at him. But, man, he brought up things like his back, his hamstrings, his shoulders. He pushed the hell out of George today.
They were working him really hard. Tyler worked him really hard. I kind of thought for a minute that Bo may take him. He was very impressive. He's dense. He's got that really dense, I lift heavy stuff type physique that where, you know, you can see the hard work. Humble guy, really humble guy. His side chest is phenomenal, man. Like that real old school Danny Padilla density to him.
Shoulders are delts in the ham, and his hams. Let me tell you guys, a year ago he did not have those hams. He went to work, and rarely have I ever seen people. Usually, when people's hamstrings are crap, they never get really good. So props, Bo. Amazing.
Bo was phenomenal, man. Like, again, if he does another show, he'll get a qualification. He's that good, man. That
He
good.
should be. I want to see him at the Olympia this year. Third place, Derek Osland, a local guy, owns a gym here. This Flex Appeal, Miami, Tampa. I screw it up every time. But man, he's another one that really improved a lot. He was second at this show a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, and I said, good shape, good structure. Needs to be a lot bigger. Needs to be tighter. He came in bigger. He came in tighter. He's right at 212 now. So he's up. I think he said he was like 194 previously. And he was 212 on the dime today. So do the math on that. It's significant. You know, these aren't the tallest characters. You know, me and Mike know. We're not ranking on him. Trust me. But very impressed with the improvements, Derek.
I was super impressed when he walked out. The size gain was obvious, and where we were sitting, he's very conditioned. You know what I mean? It's just maybe he wasn't as crisp as Bo and George and the glutes, but his shape is so pretty, man. And the way he sucks up his front double bicep, he just looks that much bigger. I'm not sure what else he can do. He got beat. Sometimes you get beat by better guys, but he's nothing to be a slouch about. Like, this kid's phenomenal, man. He's young too. You know, so the sky's the limit. His potential's endless.
Like, we just talked to him and said, keep your head up. This was not. You were up against George Peterson, an Olympia star for years and years, and Bo is just he's phenomenal. Bo is just somebody who's coming up fast. Right. Aaron Clark, what a comeback for Aaron. Size, greeny condition. Could have been maybe a little tiny bit tighter, but man, very, very happy to see him back close to the form that we remember him in.
Super freak. He is so big. I didn't realize how big he was. He looked a little bit tighter tonight than he did this morning. Wasn't as crispy as he was a couple days ago in the pictures, but this dude's got a ton of muscle, man. Like, he's got that's 212 Olympia muscle, man. He's legit. Again, compete a couple more times this year, maybe get the timing better. But I was very impressed with him. Crowds are striated, but he's so big.
Let's not forget, Aaron was, the first time he did the 212 Olympia, he was 6th place. He beat a lot of very good guys who were very well established at the time. So, don't count Aaron out. If you're hearing this, keep going. Do some more shows. Keep getting tighter and better. You'll win one of them, I'm pretty sure. And let's wrap up with 5th place, Kevin Johnson. Very impressed. Someone I've seen before, never. And this is like, I know I keep repeating myself. Somebody I never paid a lot of attention to, but today, sometimes I finally see him and go, wow, this guy's really good. Yeah. In fact, I said to Mike, I said, he's more classic, meaning to me he's got prettier shape and aesthetics than a lot of the guys that were competing in classic today, which you don't often see in 212 because they're usually little tanks. But this guy was put together. Everything flowed, just round, full muscle belly, small waist, small joints. Very impressive, Kevin.
Beautiful physique. You said he flows very well, perfect shape, small waist. Displays physique very well, wide back. Could have been harder, which a lot of guys, again, don't know the prep time. But he's very good. I didn't notice him too much this morning. My eyes were kind of drawn to Farnsworth a little bit and a couple other guys, and he just crept right up in there, man, and just boom. Tonight he showed like he deserved to be 5th place.
And I hope he keeps going. I keep saying that, but a lot of these guys, they just need a little more time, just another few weeks or whatever, tighten up, and they'll do better. I mean, people are going to take notice. Can't help it. Well, that's it. That wraps up day 1. Tomorrow we're coming back for, obviously, open men. That's the star of the show. Figure, bikini, fitness. Yeah, I almost forgot fitness. And, of course, wellness, guys. The first ever pro wellness show right here in Tampa tomorrow. Me and Mike are very excited. Can you tell? It's gonna. That's Hector. Even Hector's screaming. So that wraps it up. Please check out all the coverage. We got still photos, contest pics, interviews, all that up on musculardevelopment.com, play-by-play thread, videos up on YouTube. Stay right here for all the coverage. Tampa Pro, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. For Muscular Development, it's been Mike Cox and Ron Harris. We're out.